If you're like me and you've bought this Samsung Bespoke washer-dryer combo, and it's great, but between cycles it leaks on the floor, gets this error message, can't clean the heat exchanger, hopefully this video can help you. What I'm doing here is removing the 4 screws at the back that secure the top panel. This is the only panel that requires removal to access the part that has failed. Alright, so it does appear that the 2 screws that need removing to free each side of the lid are one hexagonal Phillips head and one pan head Phillips. We'll try that on the other side. We'll see if that frees it. Okay. What's holding on? The slide? Yeah, okay. Whoa. Whoa. Okay, not sure where I'm gonna put you. This appears to be the issue that multiple people are facing. This hose rupturing, which causes it to spill water into the unit instead of to wash the heat exchanger. So I'm just thankful this was easy to access. I can probably replace this hose and get some new wrapping here. So I'm going to go ahead and, well, I should have unplugged this to begin with. So why don't we start there? We're just going to use some pliers and free those clips. I'm just going to work it down off the fitting. Oh, got a good bit of water there. Can't be more than what it was already leaking. Just being careful of plastic fittings. Okay, that's one. Let's be especially careful of the pump side while we free that one. Okay. Both hose clamps are off. We should be able to... Oh, and this is like soaked. Careful. There we go. And this is the trickier one. Oh. Both of these fittings look fine. Looks like that came off without an issue. But we need to find something to match this outer, or that ID. And this is probably just a sound deadening that we can try to transfer over, but this hose, this rubber hose, just bursts. While I work on squeezing out of here, let me show you what hose I got to replace this. It's ASCU 4027595, and it's 3/8 inner diameter braided vinyl hose. Oh, sorry. I want to give you all a close look at where the hose that burst was, and that would be right between this port, twisting around, up over to the short length of hose for washing the heat exchanger. So, we're back. Got these hose clamps. Got some hose. The hose I got is braided vinyl. So it's a little bit beefier. I'm hopeful that doesn't burst this time. Got a hose cutter. Make sure this fits on it. Might be easier too if I was to yoink this guy. It's perfect. It's exactly what you want with a barbed fitting. when the hose grips it, oh, you got a good connection. Okay. So I don't think there's anything wrong with their choice of clips. This is just what I tend to use personally. It's easier to get off too. Alright, I feel pretty good about that. So let's take this opportunity to gauge how much hose we really need. So the hose that we took out was not even a foot long. I mean, that was putting it under a lot of tension. I wonder if I'm able to kind of loop through this differently. I really think it's worth trying that, because it puts it above these electronics, but this is a lot less strain than the hose. Well, I've got enough hose to try it. Let's give it a shot. Just come in this way. That's what I'm thinking. Anyway. You want to be careful. This is a plastic part. It's a plastic hose, but you can easily generate enough force to break a piece. So you want to be mindful of all the nearby components. Just a little bit of rotation, a little bit of wiggle. Mostly a directed force. Oh, grease. I think it's on there solidly. I feel good about that, so I'm going to cinch that down. And then we just need to zip tie that so it stays away from the case. This is a real pain in the butt. I'm going to get a real flathead and be back. Alright, so I didn't get a flathead, but I did find a nut driver that seems to fit nicely. So this is what I ended up with. Like I said, just one more zip tie to keep this guy out of the way, and then, I mean, I think that's about all we can do. Found my zip ties. I am just wanting to keep everything from rattling and from this rubbing against the case. See if we can piggyback on this attachment point. Yeah, I like that. And I've got this Tessa tape that I usually use for making wiring harnesses. Wind some onto right here because feel like that's gonna vibrate. I feel like that hose is gonna burst too if I don't do something about it. Yes, these plastic pegs, they're right there. Yeah, any points that I feel like this could rub out, I'm just gonna get a little bit of tape, help bundle things. I don't like, you know, this connector just freewheeling out here. Let's make sure we don't interfere with lid clearance. So this is closer to the intended use of Tesa tape. That'll give it a little bit of resistance, a little bit of extra protection there. Alright, let's give her a spin. We need to plug the power back in. Make sure I didn't drop any tools. And then what I want to see is I just want it to run a heat exchanger cleaning. So maybe I can command it to do that. Of course, it's got to boot up. So many fans in this thing. So I put it on a shorter cycle on rinse and spin. I'm hoping that between the wash cycle and the dry, it does attempt to clean the heat exchanger. It does. You should see some water flow through the tube, and you can verify if it's a solid connection. Ah, condenser cleaning. Looks like she's working fine. Except that this does cause, seems to be a good bit of water hammer if my TNP is dripping. But it does appear the major source of the leak with condenser cleaning is resolved.